chaos! One more! He gets him! Gets the solo kill!
Chaos all damages just 2-1. 6-0 and 0.
The favorites of G2 in Paris did not stand a chance. Fun plus Phoenix are your world champions!
I think as a person, I definitely learn a lot by my own mistakes. I put so much emphasis and pressure on myself to get better at bot. I think it took a lot of agency from the rest of my teammates. I put so much work into trying to be the carry from botlane, but it ended up kind of hurting us in the long run. But at the time, we were just very focused on the one goal of just winning the whole thing.
I respect the mentality of Perkz to shoulder any sort of, I guess, shortcomings of G2's playstyle on himself. I think it's one of the qualities that you really only see from like the true leaders. Perkz is the type of player that redefines the game every single time he touches it. There are certain players that at the most elite level are the difference makers that give you that extra inch to stand a little bit taller, to reach a little bit farther. And Perkz is one of those players. To be a legend, you have to perform on the international level, and I think that's where most iconic moments will start, and it certainly started for Perkz. And it wasn't just against North American or European opponents. It has to measure up against the LCK and the LPL. In both instances, Perkz has done that against SKT, against RNG. It's Perkz that stood up.
Welcome back to Worlds 2018 for our second quarterfinal of the day. Royal Never Give Up versus G2 Esports.
Our whole grind, climb as a team, was that we went from the losing quarterfinal 0-3 to actually going through planes, to groups, to quarterfinals, playing against the best team in the world. Like everyone was saying RNG was the favorite to win the tournament.
Everything in my brain is screaming, RNG heavy favorites against G2.
Throw it all out.
But there's this thing with this tournament now and this meta and these different play styles where anything can happen.
May not be enough. Perkz may get the first death up. Whoa, he turns it back around on the Corsa in a 1v3. Teleport's coming down. Not just to find out. Perkz blows up RNG and G2 win the fight.
So I think if you put all the things in perspective and the game 5, then it's like a very clutch game, clutch moment, right?
Being a favorite in this tournament. One more!
He gets him!
Perkz gets the solo kill. Will start to revive and resurrect.
MLXG!
Just blows up MLXG!
6-0 and 0 for Perkz. You give me Perkz versus the world, I'm liking his odds.
This is chaos!
And for the vast majority of this, Perkz!
So close, the Ignite is ticking, that is not it! Perkz is godlike!
I mean, you play with no regrets, and I was just not scared of anything.
There's the engage. Death enters onto the mechanic creep, delivers a perfect play. GA,
Uzi's down!
Back up. But with Uzi down, it's all on Xiaohu. Xiaohu's running for the back. Perkz has found him. Perkz goes golden with the hourglass. They may have just done it.
G2 have just dismantled RNG!
In the case of Luca, at the very beginning, he's a Croatian dude that nobody knew, just a solo queue hero, you know. You could see this guy has no fear. You can only do that if you have this inner confidence, you know, that you're just so good. And that is a rare trait. He had innate leadership skills. You can't really learn those skills. He doesn't hesitate, and everybody buys into that call, in and outside the game.
Over the past months, we have been seeing some very, very big changes in the off-season. Definitely the most shocking one must have been Caps joining G2 and Perkz moving to the bottom lane position. First up, did any of you see that coming?
This role swap, if it works, is a completely new game.
My thoughts were that there was just no way it was gonna fail. Granted, like, I had a lot of doubts, while I was actually playing. I just stuck with it right and I just kept going and it worked out really well.
Self-made there, 3-man stun, Pyrion jumps onto the back line, but now it's all about Caps and Perkz just getting damage down they can. Pyrion jumps all the way across, it's a second kill for Perkz, he's on the chase. Whirlip has to flash away, Caps can't quite land the stun, but it's a triple for Perkz.
I learned by everyone I play with. I had the luxury of playing with Zone and Meaty. I learned some things from Yarn and Madrid as well, and I tried to put it into how I want to play botlane.
The Charger going to do what he can to clear the waves. Jankos leaps forward. It looks like he might just get taken down, but Perkz in the midst of the team. Yasuo damage is just too much.
I was just improving throughout the whole year. I was really pushing myself, and I felt like I got really, really good in summer splits. Our strong point was our bot side.
Patrick jumping forward once again, Alfari down towards the bottom side. Alfari in position, he slices through them. Origin will not be stopped, but Alfari's down and Perkz is still alive. Jankos frontlining now as Cord is forced away.
I can't even believe that I got it good at AD carry in like 1 year.
I think he said, obviously as a mid laner moving down into ADC, the game didn't start at 6 items, the game started at level 1, minute 1, and he wasn't going to play it passive, and he wasn't going to just kind of cruise through and do what everyone else was doing. And now, that's how the bot lane has to be played.
Alright, there's an early flash from Perkz already, but look at the turnaround damage. Mickey's going low, defensive flash! Mickey survives! First blood picked up by Perkz!
The move was completely unprecedented, and ultimately I think it comes down to the fact that he just wanted to win. And Perkz sort of said, I have all these other skills that I'm bringing into this bot lane. I cannot just be better than you on the traditional AD carries, but also mages, also fighters in the bottom lane. He can sort of do it all.
He role swapped to ADC, he brought on fan favorite Caps, and Europe's villains of G2 finally came into MSI as heroes.
Mickey had wrist injuries, so we haven't scrimed with him for 2.5 months. So we went into MSI and scrimed with him 1 day beforehand. We were winning all the laning phases we played together. It was a pretty surreal feeling because of that circumstance.
All of a sudden, Rather gets another on the back end. That's under Unburrow underneath. Betty Chaser turns around, back into Perkz.
LEC champions G2 are coming off a dominant split on home soil, but will need to pull out some clever tactics to take down SKT.
Going into the playoffs, I was quite comfortable. They can win against SKT because we've already beaten 2 times in groups.
Get caught up, Wonder steps all the way forward. He looks like he gets so many members. He manages to get the pop from the E. Caps is trying to find the kill. Mata's in trouble, Faker's low, but they've already got one into Mata. Where is Teddy? It's a 1-for-1 so far, but Wonder's still alive. That's a 3-man stun from Perkz. The bone skewer. The gap be damned. Champions can fall, gods can bleed. Where were you when the West rose up to conquer champions? G2 Esports eliminates SK Telecom.
All 4 regions were contesting, so that's why this MSI was very hyped. Probably the most hyped MSI of all times.
I think Perkz' career has been defined by extremes. So you have like this massive disparity of the guy crying on stage and everyone laughing at him versus lifting an international trophy for the first time for Europe since season 1.
The angle in which Luca and G2 think about winning MSI, it's our trophy. Finally, we won what was ours anyway.
Looking in hindsight compared to other years, like last year we beat every Korean team that we faced. It was the first international tournament that Europe has ever won, right? We put the whole region in the eyes in front of the world.
MSI was about proving that he was a great bot laner, and Worlds was about him trying to prove that he was the best bot laner.
I think at Worlds, especially, Perkz was the best Xayah player in the world. And I think you could see that through a lot of the drafts and how much people didn't want to give the champion to him.
So I thought the Worlds was very like winnable, but the series against SKT actually turned out to be harder than I thought it would be.
The West had been put down for so long, but there was something different about Perkz and G2, just this different energy, how they attacked the game, how they changed the game, and you could very visually see how explosive that difference was.
Into the backside, Faker now coming in, he's gonna slow a lot of members. Mickey's still alive, Caps is still alive. Pop Blossom will only collect on 1, and Wonder is still living. G2 are coming out on top of the fight for now, but a beautiful body slam will not be enough. They're in the pinch. That is not where you want to be against the Xayah, and SKT have got nothing left left in this game one. Early bit death, but now they're still trying to follow up. The taunt is there to stop Veigar from going any further. Caps now on the retreat. Phase rush has come out. Perkz going into the midst of everything, but the knockup is there. The last breath, and it will be Caps as the shutdown comes through, but Perkz is not done yet. He wants to make the difference. Yanko sleeping in. Will they re-engage? He gets the shutdown!
If it matters to beat Korea, Korea has always been the best. It matters to go through Faker.
Let's exchange for now. They're winning, but Perkz is coming in. This is his hero moment. If he wants to turn this fight in favor of team, this could be the game.
He gets the
fight moment. Faker is gone. Teddy's next on the list. There's no way he can duel Yasuo. Amada's coming in, but he's just walking into the meat grinder of Perkz. Con, can he do it? They've done enough. They've done it. G2. Con, can he get it done? He can't. The Vladimir. They can't do it. This is it. The greatest team in the history of League of Legends, taken down by the greatest team Europe has ever produced. FPX, get ready. G2 is heading to Paris.
When we actually faced a really good team in FPX, we lost.
What Worlds 2019 has done for him, he's realized that his worth as a human, his worth as a player goes beyond, what happens in-game. He has the heart of a champion, and he always did, but now he has the mind of a winner.
It's hard for honestly anyone to understand how much stress I went through the last few years of my career. Now I'm starting to take a different approach. I'm prioritizing myself, being who I am. I'm thinking this will make me also a better player, and it's already pretty hard because I'm really good. So it's gonna be exciting to see how good I can actually become.
Ooh, now we see the chase coming in from Origin.
Oh, whoa! Where did that burst come from?
The reason why midlane fits me more is just because of my personality. Vocal, assertive, aggressive, and that's something that fits midlane more.
Comes the damage. Perkz on the front line. Finn there as well. And Summer, Lars and Finn all trying to defend. But look at Perkz. How do you beat that? How do you kill that?
Want to find the flank. Rise, Realmore. Where's it going to go? Reckless. Caught in the middle of everyone, but the baby cage is not enough to buy time. And now Perkz is moving in. He's spotted an empty backline, and now he's trying to finish it off. He goes gold. He buys time. Caps now moving in as well. Going to be pulling a soul out. Self-fade taken down. Knocked down.
I did go further every year. 2016, I went 1-5 in Worlds. 2017 I went 3-3. 2018 I made it to semifinals, and then 2019 I made it to finals. Same 2016 MSI, 2-8. 2017 finals. 2019 I've won MSI. There is a very, very high chance that I win Worlds this year. Every new year is just a much better year for me than the year beforehand.
But I don't think they can do it. Nemesis now stepping forward. Gangplank, the Veigar. Something has to be enough. Perkz going in.
He won in Europe, he proved himself, then failed internationally time and time again, only to then end up proving everyone wrong, changing his role.
Legends of this sport is someone who has lived for many, many years through victories and failures. Long years of unstoppable grind and determination to be the best.
The thing about Perkz is that when he fails, he only gets better. So 2020 is going to be a better year. He will continue to go until he can't play anymore, and that is truly what makes a legend.